Okay, so what I advise is that hopefully you have some weights already, or you could use calisthenics, and you warm up well before you actually do this because you want to make sure your muscles and your connective tissues are warmed up. Um, so, if you're going to do bench presses, you might want to do 10, 20 push ups, whatever you can do. Maybe you do 3 or 4 sets of those, and then do the maximum so your muscles and tendons are warmed up. And of course, that goes with all the different exercises. You could, if you have weights, you can do it with the free weights first and then do it. Or if you, like for instance, you're going to do a leg press, you might do like three sets of 10 squats and air squats, and then that would warm everything up. But I wouldn't advise just going full bore right at it without warming up. This is a static contraction exercise system, and right now it is set up for leg press. You can see the display here, even though it says 10, you would zero it before you would do your exercise. Reset button right here. Now it says 0. All right, so I have it set up for me, and the way you do that is with these pins right here. So this notched rail, these notched rails go through the back support, and you have these pins to place it where you want to, for your leg length. So you back your back up to the pad. This is loose, separate, and so then you put your feet up on the support, and then you push as hard as you can. Drops back to 0, but when you hit enter and then enter again, it gives you the remembered peak value, so 434 pounds. Now, what you want to do is adjust it so that you are just below pegging out, if you were, where you would fully be extended. That's where you want to set it. And to do that, like I say, you pull these pins, you push this in and out until it's just the right length, and then it's ready to go. Now, you may have to play with that, a notch or two to get it just right. And what you do is you write that value down, and then the next time you do it, you set it up exactly the same way, and you do it again, and you're looking for a higher reading to improve. That's what this is all about, is to push your body to the max. Your body says, okay, I've got to adjust for this load in the future, and then you get stronger, and then this won't be the peak anymore. So the next time you do it again, it'll be a higher value, unless you haven't recovered enough. If that's the case, then you want to recover it longer and try it again. And so you write the higher value, as you improve. If it's lower, then you recover longer and try again, then write that down. So it's a comparison thing. You're comparing from one workout to another to see that you're improving. I did this method of exercise, but I did it with weights at first. And I did it at a gym where there were a lot of weights available, and so you would set up whatever weight value you thought you could do. Again, with it just a little bit outside, fully extended, And then if you can do more, then you add more and so forth. But in this process, you don't have to do that because it knows your maximum value right off the bat and saves it. It's not saving it permanently, it's just saving it for the moment. Then you can write it down in a log. All right, so the next process is to pull these pins. Sometimes it takes a little finagling. And then you're going to take this piece out. This is only used for the leg extension. All right, so set this aside. Then you want to, well, now the bench will hold it and you pull this off. All right. Okay. Now, you'll notice that there's wheels on the bottom of the platform. And now this will roll up on those wheels. Now you're going to have to pull your display forward. Unfortunately, I was out of balance there. All right. So the next thing to do is you set this like that. All right. And now you can do your bench press. Set this back a little ways. Reset to 0. Okay. I'll put the pads on, of course. All right. Now, this is where you use the bar. And you put the bar between these two supports and then find a place to put the pin through. Of course, that's not going to be the height I'm going to use for the bench press, but it gets it in position. You can't see the bar, can you? Well, I'm going to be dropping it anyway, so. So then you lay on the bench. And you extend your hands to full length and see where that would be, where the bar needs to be. Okay, so I need to bring it down, probably 2 or 3 inches. You pull the one pin, you drop it down, and then you pull the other one down where you believe it's level. Now, what's helpful here is not to jam it up so you can't pull the pin out. You try lifting that up a little higher. what's helpful is to have a level. You might move this down a little bit at a time. Okay, I can't find my normal level, but I have this one. And there's the bubble right there. Hopefully you've used the level before. And what's really ideal is to have a magnetic one. So you just set it here in the center. This is showing, as you can probably visually see, this end's too high. So then I would drop this down. And check it again. And that's about right. Now, there's other ways to do this if you don't want to use a level. You can count the slots from the top, and let's say this is 30 slots down, then you would make that one 30 slots down. Just count it each time. Or you could write numbers. I don't know if I thought about doing this. I don't know if I actually did, but you can just write the numbers down here, 1 to 30. And then that'll give you a better approach. And then the other thing, once you get the height that is adequate for you for your press, you just put a line here and put P for press. Then you'll know exactly to go to that spot every time. So those are different ways to do it. I have a feeling this is still too high for me. But we will give her a go. That's a little high. It needs to be down like here. So this is fully extended here. It needs to be down maybe an inch. For some reason, this bench isn't long enough to support my head. It's been a long time since I've used this, so I brought down 2 notches. Then what you can do is you can grab this with your hand, and so you feel it, and then take note of what notch you're on, come down 2, then find the hole that fits, and then take your level and check it, which is now level. So I did that properly. Okay, I turned this bench 180 so that the beefier part is over the platform, and adjusted this a little bit more till it seems like to be the right length. Now what you're going to need to do after all that messing around is reset it. Okay, and then you push it up as hard as you can, and all right, so that's showing 200. It might be able to be dropped down a little bit further to get a higher load. So you're gonna have to play with it until you get just the right height on the poles to give you what you feel is your best press. And then mark it with a marker, permanent marker, put a P or whatever. Okay, so that's the bench press. Now, of course, you can remove the bench. Well, before we remove the bench, let me show you this other thing. This belt right here goes over your waist. And this isn't actually the ideal setup here, because I was really meaning to do this. But you want to sit with your legs extended like this. put the belt, I guess I'm going to have to scoot up a little further. Anyway, you want to take this belt, just assume that I'm doing it because I have to remove stuff to get to the belt freed up. So anyway, you move this down where you can hang on it like this, with your arms over it like this, and then the belt holds you down to the bench, and then you do a crunch, and again, you measure that weight or load. Now, in case you don't know it, the thing that's so good about this is you are maxing out your weight with no danger involved at all, because there's no heavy plates you have to move around or drop. When you do a press, you don't have to worry about dropping it on yourself. But you are pressing the absolute max you can do, and it's recording it and you're writing it down. So it's really quite fantastic. I did it with weights until I couldn't do it with weights anymore, and then I bought this machine. All right, so the other things you can do. Take the bench off. Okay, now, at this point, this might actually be close to the right height. Probably should be a little higher. You can do a curl against this. So you want to curl put your arms as far as they are curled, drop it down a little bit, put the bar there, and then push as hard as you can with your arms. And then there's also the press. So you can actually do this. Okay, now you can move it up. And I think you have to sit down to do the press. That's right. I remember now. So I don't know what that height would be. I'm not going to set it up right now, but you just set it, let's say it's right here, and then you sit on the bench and you push above your head. So you get it where you want with the 2 pins, one on either side. Once you establish what that is, then you put 2 more pins to make it as strong as possible. Okay, now what else would you want to do? You do the press, you do the curl, and you do the waist, the abs, and then you do the leg press. And you could also set it where you're doing a deadlift. You do a deadlift, you're going to get like right here would be the height. You set it there, and then pull against it as hard as you can. So those are the different exercises. Maybe there's others you can do, but it's a really nice system. It's really, really heavy duty. And I've had it for many years. Hardly shows any wear and tear. Still works electronically. We've cleaned it a couple of times, but we've had it in the garage, so it keeps having cobwebs on it. So, how do you take it apart? Well, that's easy, right? You just pull the pins out down here, which I'm going to have difficulty with. Might have to use a screwdriver to give me a little extra torque, or put some penetrating oil on them, because they've been in there a long time. Anyway, it's the same thing as up here. You just have the 2 pins, you put them down here. Now what it is you see, this aluminum bar right there has a strain gauge on the middle of it. And the strain gauge reads the strain, obviously, right? So when you're pulling on that bar, like let's say I was doing a curl, I'm pulling up on that bar on both ends, that strain gauge reads the value, and this is calibrated to give you that value on a display. So that's how that works. All the different exercises you utilize that bar with the strain gauge on it. Okay, so I sprayed that pin with a little penetrating oil. Then I used a screwdriver and I put it through the ring, and then I pried it to get it loosened up. So, of course, it's also hard to do. You don't have to do this except when you initially are setting up the machine. Come on, thing. There we go. So there's the bar. All right. To show that that's straight, flat. It was up on the mat, so it looked like it wasn't. All right, so that's how you take it apart. Okay, I apologize that I didn't have the camera the right distance away to show the full device. But I just don't have the time to redo the video. So hopefully what I did was sufficient. The main thing I wanted to show you is how you set it up for the different exercises, because that may not be self-evident. What else can I tell you? Okay, because you couldn't see it in the other video, I'm showing this close up. It says 1. Hopefully you can tell that. So now I'm going to push down on this bar. Okay. And then went to 46 and then off. And now you hit your button twice and it has the peak value of 46. So I want to make sure you saw that it was working.